Thanks so much for being with us here on the AccuWeather Network. I'm Jeff Cornish.
And I'm Damian Lotus. Today is Wednesday, August 20th.
Yeah, lots to talk about. Erin's been the big story for the past week, and the closest pass of this hurricane will occur tonight into tomorrow in the Outer Banks.
That's right. And it also looks like that as it makes that pass, Jeff, it actually looks like it's going to strengthen into a major Category 3 hurricane here for tonight.
This thing really escalated back on Saturday when we went from Category 1 to Category 5 in only 24 hours. Making it the earliest such storm to make such a significant increase in wind speed in a short period of time in the Atlantic Basin.
Yeah, that's what we were tracking over the weekend, but it's still going to be a strong storm even as we head into, look at that, Thursday into Friday, still having widespread impacts across the east coast of the U.S.
So right now, Hurricane Erin remains offshore, but it's already generating dangerous surf and life-threatening rip currents along the east coast. Waves of up to 20 feet, storm surge up to 6 feet are threatening the Outer Banks, where evacuation orders are in place on Hatteras and Ocracoke Islands. Some coastal homes are at risk of collapse.
Meanwhile, a slow-moving front is drenching the northeast with flash flooding possible from Pennsylvania to New England. I'll have more on that coming up, but first let's go and take a live look at Buxton, North Carolina, Jeff.
Yeah, this is it's a still image, but it really does show the flooding, the overwash. Now, the ocean's on the left side. The sound side is on the right side. You can see under those condos and under the homes to the left, just water. You can't see any dry land except for on the dune. And then it's crossing the street from left to right. You can see the excavator there, road crews blocking that off there. And again, it's an uphill battle here. It's an uphill battle to maintain the very thin strand of barrier islands known as the Outer Banks with storms like these. The center of the storm still offshore. The steady rain remains offshore, but you can see we're getting a little closer to a period of time in which we might see a steadier rain just brush areas like Cape Hatteras. Right now, from certain spots along the coastline, the steady rain, 10 to 12 miles offshore, 10 to 20 miles offshore, depending on where you are. But as we switch over to the infrared loop, this is the satellite loop, and you can see there's a little punch of drier air that just kind of worked its way into the north side, and that's probably the only thing that's really keeping this from reaching Category 3 intensity right now. So a little bit of dry air that's been ingested into the engine of the storm here. Meanwhile, we do have limited wind shear, so there is the opportunity for this to reorganize and strengthen a bit more. So we'll keep a close eye on that. The visible satellite loop is getting dark off near Bermuda, but at the beginning of this loop, you can see the footprint of the Cirrus shield, 800 to 900 miles from one side of the storm to the other. But now the sun is setting on Bermuda, and we're soon to follow here along the east coast. Days are getting just a smidge shorter. So we showed you the storm stats. We had a Category 2 storm still on the map here, moving north at 14 miles per hour. There's the footprint of the rain. By the way, if you're curious, the flash flooding up near Boone, North Carolina is entirely unrelated to this particular storm. It's from the trough that's actually protecting us from Erin. But we have seen a big increase. This is a 4-hour loop, and now it's a 6-foot rise south of Cape Hatteras. In 4 hours, a 6-foot increase in wave heights. And we're going to see numbers really ramp up south of Bermuda as the center of the storm gets closer to a point between Bermuda and the Outer Banks. The western part of the footprint of tropical storm force winds will be brushing the Outer Banks tonight into tomorrow morning. Overnight, we're looking at some rain up and down the Outer Banks, but wind and coastal flooding, the main issues. You'll notice we're dry in Raleigh. We're dry in Fayetteville. We're probably even dry for the most part in Myrtle Beach tonight. So it's going to be a side swipe, Damien. But certainly the coastal flooding and the dangerous rip currents are the biggest issues here with this offshore storm.
That's right. It's going to be the waves and the rip currents that are going to be the biggest issues, storm surge as well. So for the most part, that's where we're going to see the biggest impacts. But once again, unfortunately, this is going to be kind of a double negative whenever it comes to the next 12 to 24 hours with Hurricane Erin, because not only does it look like Erin is going to intensify from a Category 2 to a major Category 3 hurricane, but it also looks like during that intensification process from tonight through tomorrow afternoon, that is when Erin is going to make the closest pass to the east coast of the United States. So in some cases, it's going to be kind of what we're calling a double whammy there across parts, especially along the Carolina coastal areas, which is why whenever it comes to the potential risks of damaging winds and flooding rainfall, you can see there the Carolina coastal areas will be at a high risk for flooding rainfall and for damaging winds is what we're going to be tracking there across that region here as we head throughout the next 12 to 24 hours. But overall, one thing we also want to stress is that the entire east coast of not only the United States, but the east coast of Atlantic Canada as well will be watching out for dangerous seas and dangerous rip currents here as we head into the weekend. So across the south, you're seeing Daytona Beach, Florida there on the right-hand side of your screen. Even as we head into Thursday, Friday, we're going to see clearing skies, blue skies, and for some of the Atlantic coastal areas of Florida and southeast Georgia. But once again, because of how powerful Erin is going to remain, we're still going to be watching out for dangerous surf conditions there across the southeast coast and the Florida coastal areas as well. So once again, dangerous rip currents, even as we head to the weekend, even with blue skies, will remain possible. But overall, the highest coastal hazards will remain along the outer banks of North Carolina. This is where we are forecasting for life-threatening. That's the language we're using, life-threatening surf and life-threatening rip currents are across parts of Virginia and North Carolina, which is why as you look at the overall impacts, we're going to see impacts ranging from South Carolina up through Jersey and New York. Even Massachusetts will be watching out for some dangerous conditions here as we go forward from the impacts of Erin. We also have a tropical storm warning in effect from Jersey all the way down through North Carolina here because of the impending impacts that we are going to be tracking here as we head throughout the next 24 to 48 hours. Now, as far as rainfall is concerned, not a lot of rain. We're going to see most of the rainfall well offshore with the eye of the hurricane, about an inch or two there for the outer banks, but it's going to be for strong winds. You can see they're gusting 40 to 60 miles an hour, but the primary issue right there, storm surge. We're going to see widespread 3 to 6 feet of storm surge there along the outer banks of North Carolina. That's why this potential is going to be so dangerous here as we go forward. But in the meantime, it's going to take you live right now to Washington, D.C. It's time for the Big Three, where Jeff and I are going to take a look at the other big weather stories that we're going to be tracking here as we head into this evening.
And Damian, some of the trough of this low pressure system off the east coast or moving through the northeast, sparking some showers, some thunderstorms, but it also is protecting us here. Kind of a steering mechanism to drive Erin farther offshore.
That's right. It's kind of blocking the northeast from Erin moving onshore, which is what, like you said, it's just going to steer it away. So overall, it's a good thing, but it's also going to be bringing some drenching downpours here across parts of the northeast. We showed you Washington, D.C. Washington, D.C. is going to be on the very southern end. There are the rain chances, but there will be a couple pockets there, Jeff, where we could see up to 8 inches of total rainfall.
Yeah, localized flooding is still a concern here in some of these areas. We had a dry start to the month, so we're getting a little bit of lost opportunity for rain back. We're making up for some lost time here. Southern New England seeing some of the heaviest right now.
Yeah, we have widespread light, even some pockets of moderate rainfall continuing, but overall the rain is moving from west to east, so most of these showers are starting to work their way offshore, but off to the west, we're seeing some clearing there as far as the rainfall becoming less and less organized.
And we are facing also some localized flash flooding in some parts of western North Carolina. Some of these areas, I think people have maybe a little bit of, there may be some actual post-traumatic stress syndrome here after what some of people faced as their worst days in their lives with Hurricane Helene and the flooding. People lost homes and so forth. And this is totally unrelated to Erin, which is good news. And again, the trough sparking this is actually protecting us from Erin.
That's right, and that trough, it started on Monday with severe storms in Chicago, and now because of that, now we're starting to see not just the storm chances across the southeast, but as Jeff is detailing right there, the flooding potential as well.
And we have a few pesky severe thunderstorms, western Mississippi into northern parts of Louisiana. Look at Shreveport. You got a severe thunderstorm moving in. Looks like it might be weakening a little bit, but officially a severe thunderstorm warning is in effect for Shreveport. We got more storms on the map tomorrow, scattered through many areas, but still windy with coastal flooding from Virginia Beach down through the Outer Banks.
Absolutely. So for this evening, most of those storms will stay south of the I-20 corridor. Also tracking more thunderstorms, not just across the southeast, but across the northern plains. So no organized thunderstorm chances today, but as we head into tomorrow, especially tomorrow evening, Jeff, we will be watching out for a risk of severe weather lining up from I-90 and I-29. And we'll see the biggest impacts with large hail possible across pretty much all of western Minnesota.
Yeah, so some concerns here tied to locally damaging wind. Our friend Amy Westbuild in Glenmont, Ohio, under the sunshine, looking nice there. But look out for more storms. Mainly the upper Midwest and parts of the northern central plains facing the biggest risk for severe storms today and tonight and tomorrow, too.
That's right. As we head into Friday, that risk of severe weather will shift from I-90 down through I-80, so northern Kansas up through the upper Midwest, including parts of Michigan we'll be watching out for. Once again, some strong winds, some pretty good size hail, and lots of lightning as well. We saw a pretty good light show with those storms on Monday there in Chicago, Jeff.
All right, yeah, I remember some of that footage. Pretty impressive. You can see some of that on AccuWeather.com. Right now, we're still facing minor delays in Houston and minor delays ongoing at LaGuardia with these low clouds around and some showers and storms in some areas. Shreveport, you have some travel issues right now, too, but there's Houston with minor delays in progress. Now, tomorrow, a lot of us in the southeast will continue to see a mix of sunshine and clouds, partly sunny for most. A good start to the day, but then scattered thunderstorms in the afternoon. It's the immediate east coast of the mid-Atlantic states where we're facing the biggest impacts tied to flooding and onshore winds. So Norfolk, look out, you've got some issues there. But even from maybe Richmond and points like areas around Raleigh, North Carolina west, you'll likely be okay, avoiding the biggest trouble with Erin staying offshore. AccuWeather has proven to be the most accurate source of weather forecasts and warnings. Our exclusive 45-day forecast provides app users with often more advanced notice of upcoming weather conditions than ever before, completely free of charge. Better protect your family, keeping them safer. Download the free AccuWeather app today.